welcome back. Naji here. In this video, we will be discussing on multi-query retriever. So this is a simple workflow with respect to RAG when we use the simple retriever. Okay, what happens when the user asks a query? It will pass to a retriever. Retriever internally will communicate with the knowledge base. It can be a vector store, it can be a SQL, or it can be a graph database, anything, and it will communicate with the knowledge base, and it will get some kind of a documents, right? And that will be passed to the LLM model. So based on the context given, the LLM model will create the answer based on this query, for this query. Okay, so this is the normal RAG workflow. And what happens if somebody is asking a question in a different way? Okay, so different people can ask the same thing in a different ways, right? So we cannot judge that. So in that case, sometimes if you ask a variety of question, or if the people is asking in a different way, so the retriever may fail to retrieve the relevant information from the knowledge base. Since knowledge base is retrieving, or retriever is retrieving some unnecessary document, the LLM will fail to generate the correct answer for this query. Okay, so that is in this case what Langchain has implemented. Langchain has implemented another beautiful method or beautiful retriever that is called a multi-query retriever. So what happens with the multi-query retriever? So when somebody asks a query, what multi-query retriever does is multi-query retriever generate different variations of this query. Okay, and maybe say that it created 4 different queries, and each of these queries will be query against the knowledge base. Maybe query 1 will query against the knowledge base, query 2 will be query against knowledge base, and query 3 and query 4. Okay, finally it will get some information, maybe a different information. Those will be passed to the LLM model. So LLM model will get a more context for this question asked. Okay, then LLM will able to generate more accurate result for this query. Okay, and so it's very simple, but this actually help us, like when in a real project, this actually help us in a better way. Okay, because the people, we cannot control the how the people is going to ask questions, right? And here we can see one LLM here, and there is one LLM is also happening. There is one more LLM is available, that is inside the multi-query retriever. Okay, so in multi-query retriever, what happens is that internally we are passing a LLM model, and we are saying that okay, LLM model, we will prompt the LLM model to create different query for this particular query, different query or different questions for this particular input query. Okay, so we have to expect more calls to the LLM model, and if you guys are using a paid versions of LLM like OpenAI, then you have to be careful while using this. Okay, so that's about multi-query retriever. Now what we can do, we can try to see a implementation with respect to multi-query retriever. For that, I have already copied a URL. So you guys can see this is a URL with respect to LLM powered autonomous agent. We'll see how the retriever works, multi-query retriever works. For that, what we can do, we can import the Chroma. This is the Chroma database, and what I can do from Langchain community, we can document loaders. And there is another loader that we are going to discuss, the web-based loader. Okay, so this will help us to load the URLs. Okay, and here I am going to use the OpenAI embedding. Langchain OpenAI embedding I am going to use. Here I can use the OpenAI embedding. So this will deduct some amount from my account, but that is fine. And I can use Langchain _ text filters. Okay, you can import the recursive character text filter. Now what I can do, I can have a loader, and here we will use the web-based loader. So take care of this web-based loader, it will help us to load the URLs. Okay, and what we will do, I can have a data will be loader.load. I can load. So this will load the data. So once the data is loaded, what we can do, we have to do the text filter. Okay, so you guys should be familiar now with respect to all those terms. So I can set 500 and I can set chunk overlap as maybe 10, or let it put it to 0. I don't need any overlap. And we can have a split. I can have text splitter dot split document and just pass the data here. Okay, the loader is done, splitter is done. Now what we need to have a vector store. So vector store required a of embedding. So let me have a vector db Okay, so you will be using chroma dot from document. The same thing that we have discussed here. I can pass the documents as splits, and I can pass embedding as embedding. Okay, so vector db is ready now, right? Now we can import the multi-query retriever. We'll see how that is work. So this will be available in the retriever, not request, retrievers, and here we will have a multi-query and can import multi-query retriever. Now let me ask a question. So this is the question that we are going to ask. Okay, what are the approaches to task decomposition? Okay, so this is the question that we are going to ask to the retriever. Okay, so as I mentioned, we need to have a LLM. We need to define the LLM here. So we'll be using the chat OpenAI. Okay, so let me define the LLM also. I can use Langchain OpenAI import chat OpenAI. So we will be using a chat OpenAI LLM model. Here I can set the temperature as 0. Okay, so here we have the LLM. Now what we can do, we can retrieve the multi-query. So multi-query retriever requires two parameters, multi-query retriever dot from LLM. I can pass a retriever. So here I will be passing a vector db dot as retriever. Now I will be passing a LLM also. So this LLM is internally using to generate the questions. Okay, so let me execute this. Execution is done. Let me execute this. That is also done. Now let me add few log so that we will able to see some working. Okay, so let me add a login here. Login dot basic config we can add, and login dot get logger. What I am going to use, Langchain dot retrievers multi-query, and I can have a set level login.info. This we are using to get to see like what are the different questions that multi-query retriever generated. Okay, now I can create a unique doc, and here I can say the retriever LLM dot invoke. I can pass the question. So this is executing, and here we can see the query generated by the multi-query retriever. So what we have asked is what are the approaches to task decomposition, right? So it is saying how can task decomposition can be achieved through various methods. What strategies can be used for breaking down the task in a task decomposition? What are the different techniques available for the approach to task decomposition? So it has created 3 different questions, and based on these 3 different questions, it used to query against the knowledge base. Okay, so here we will get more relevant answers. Okay, now it's returning the for document. We can see these are the document that is returned. Okay, So this multi-query retriever is very important whenever we have a large document or whenever we have a people that is working in a different domains or different regions, because different regions people will ask questions in a different way. So that is all about in this video. So please do like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.